It is the week before the 4th of July. This is the Vindex Market Report. I'm John Clay Wolf, owner and CEO of GivemetheVIN.com, America's largest wholesale distributor. A lot of you guys know us from the lanes. It's pretty good this week. It was okay. My numbers are all screwed up because I was having to clear some stuff out. So my numbers internally are all jacked, which means my Vindex calculation, I wasn't able to do it where it would be an accurate depiction of the market. But my guess is it's up a touch from last week. Felt pretty good in the lanes. Not oh my God, just not oh my God the other way. MMR keeps falling. It's leveling out. Are we here at the bottom for the rest of the summer? Yeah. Especially with CDK screwed up. But is that the case with 24s? No. Are they going to keep depreciating? Yes. 24s, and 25 model years. I tell you all this every week. Watch it lay. It's all about what's new, what the rebates are, what the incentivized rates are. It's a lot to keep up with. If you're bidding a 24 anything next to new cars, watch out. Know what you're doing. If you need a bid and you want to sell, then go to GivemetheVIN.com. I've got a couple of guys manning that website, and they'll take dealer bids. Because if you go into our normal deal at GivemetheVIN, where the public goes into for their cars, they're getting different type of bids. But I've got some pro guys on GMTV Lux, and if you need bids for luxury cars, classics and collectibles, stuff like that, hard to figure cars, go to GivemetheVIN.com. And those fellows will turn it around. But it's not a free appraisal service. I mean, we'll give you a free appraisal, of course. But, you know, we do that. We make quotes to do business, and we bid them to buy them and to make friends, long-lasting relationships. I got one store that I've been, Discount Motors from Moritz Partners. I'm 30 years in. I think I've been doing business with them for 28 years. There's a lot of guys like that. I mean, I see them in the lanes. We've been buying and selling cars together for 3 decades. It's a long time. Been at this a while. Speaking of classic and collectibles, GMTVCC. I'm trying to take these different portals to get people that want bids on dealers that want bids on specifics to the right people that know what they're talking about. And your experience isn't like going through a call center. And you're like, dude, these people aren't pros. I need a pro buyer. Classic and collectibles, go to GMTVCC. Luxury cars, exotic cars, heavy cars, expensive cars, sports cars, specialty cars, GMTV LUX Lux. That's dealer manned, not some. They can make a decision. Is what I'm trying to say. I trust them with the checkbook. That's different. When you trust them with the checkbook, that's a different guy. And trusting a guy with a checkbook is a different kind of thing. I've had speaking of luxuries and exotics, my phone has been ringing a lot this week with a lot of guys that want to come join Give Me the VIN because we have the biggest luxury presentation, Highline presentation in the country. And I am bringing some more guys on. So if you're somebody special, go to best way to find me. Write this down: JWOLFE at GOWOLFE.com. JWolf@GoWolf.com. Send me a note. CDK is still down. They say it'll be on by July 1st, June 30th, actually. These guys, I don't know exactly the specifics, but the Russia Blacklist Hackers, it's a group that got CDK. They're saying tens of millions of dollars is what the ransom is. I've heard 50 from a pretty reliable source. I heard 7. I'm like, well, it's 7. Why hasn't a dealer group gotten together with another dealer group and paid these son of a bitches and moved on? Because this has cost a lot of money. This CDK shutdown is massive. It's a big deal. And if you guys are screwed up and you need money and you got some titles and you want to sell cars, go to one of those sites I said earlier. If you go to GivemetheVIN.com, that's for the public buying. You're going to get a different experience. That's not what you're looking for. What else? The market was fine. It was almost better than fine. I was expecting worse with this CDK thing. We're really worried about it. The online counts were down. And something else I'll tell you, I heard a couple people saying that their browsers got hung up on simulcast. 3 people specifically stated the exact same situation. They're in the middle of bidding on a car, and it grayed out and wouldn't take their bid. And they all 3 were on Stockwave. So if you're serious about your lane 20 cars, I'd get out of Stockwave and I'd get on in an internet browser that it can't. Because Stockwave's almost a broker. It's taking your bid and taking it through a middleman. And so there's another opportunity for that bid not to get taken. So I wouldn't use it on a lane like ours where we're selling everything. And you guys are catfishing each other and waiting until the very end and waiting on that last click and all that game. Stockwave's screwing you up. It's costing you cars. It's been a busy week. It's been tough. What's next week going to be? I've had great auctions on 4th of July weeks. I've had bad auctions on 4th of July weeks. I've had a good auction on the actual 4th of July about 5 years ago, I think. And I've had a bad one too. But we will have a full presentation next week at Manheim, Dallas. Still have a lot of Highline cars. That's not. We might dip off of it a little bit, but we'll gather it back up. I'm bringing on some new dealers that are like dealer affiliates, and if you're interested in being one of those, you're like a Rolls store or a Bentley store or someone that has a lot of skin in the game. You need to get in contact with me because I'm putting a deal together that of a dream team. And if you're part of that, we have the dream team lane in the world for luxury and Highline exotic. You know it, I know it, we've got it. And we're not losing it, and it works. And the reason it works is because we own all the cars. We don't consign shit. We just don't. We're not going to either. So I'll buy your car, and we can split it. High-low. You're going to take half loss, half gain. And I'm taking a few guys that I trust to do something like that with. And there's some that, maybe need to go under somebody like that can manage them. But, I'm really excited about a couple of new dealer affiliates on this affiliate program that have come on this week. You'll be surprised too. Great brand names. Lots of credibility in the space. Not jicky bullshit cars. These Highline cars, they get on this tour of flush and float. And it goes from Florida to this part of the country. I don't even want to say what part of the country because I don't want to, North Carolina to, and then it'll float over to wherever, and it might land on the West Coast and then go back to Florida. And it just never gets sold. It just floats in space like that Muppets show, Pigs in Space. And these cars just float around. It's an interesting deal. Enough of that. You guys that know, you know. You guys that don't are like, what the hell are you talking about, John? Pigs in Space. That's what we should call today's Vindex. Anyway, I'll see you on the lanes next week and have a great 4th of July. And sorry, I'm not, I don't have a bunch of details. I need to get my shit together, and I need to sit down and take 2 hours and get slides and cars and talk about the cars and what they sold for and why, and the CR versus the color versus the equipment versus this and that. I can't really disclose the bidders at the auction because this is a public accessible format. So I'm talking to dealers here, but the public can get to it, and I need to preserve the dealers' high bids because you guys don't need everybody to know what you paid for cars, right? I don't need everybody to know what I paid for cars. It's hard to make or lose money when you do that. So I will do that soon, and it will be a long one. But yeah, the market's fine. Trade effectively. Keep buying. And CDK guys, my heart really goes out to you. And if you need to turn some money because your shit's locked up, plug your cars into GivemetheVIN.com. GMTVCC, that's classic and collectible, GMTVCC.com or GMTVLux.com, and those go directly to different trade desks. Oh, the classic and car sale we had last week, fucking killer. It was great, dude. I'm so happy. I was so ecstatic. It was really nice to see everybody show up. Our online count, high watermark was like 510 buyers, and we had a shit ton in the gallery too. We ran it after the exotic run, and did they bring Barrett Jackson money? No. Did they bring Mika money? Well, what is Mika money? Every other car's a no sale. And then it's plus 10% on the buy fee and charge their ass 10% on the sale fee and charge this and charge that. It's just it was a real marketplace, but it was real money. And it was good money. And we lost some money and we made more than we lost, and I'm wanting to go do it again. Hopefully, we're trying to figure out the next one. The end of July is what I'm aiming for. I already have cars gathered up for it. Got some badass cars. I'm really enjoying that. It makes the business interesting. I'm getting into that. It's fun. I'll tell you a story on an LS. You know, this LS, what does an LS do to the value of a collector car? Well, it changes it. It makes it more valuable. How much? It costs $20,000 to do one. Right. Costs $30,000 to do a super one, right? You know, a great supercharged Coyote or an LSA. That's everything's right. It doesn't cost that much until you're done. Until you finally pay the last MFing bill on the last thing that they didn't get hooked up right. 20 to 30 grand. Can you buy the part for $5,000? Yes. Can you get it installed for $4,000? Yes. Will it work for 10 round trip? Probably not. Probably not. But I had a great Camaro, an LSA, and we had another great Camaro that was a 350. And the spread between those, they're both Z28 clones, built pretty, you know, that 20 grand it costs to do a hot rod LS, does it add 20 grand of value? To the right car, absolutely. To the real right car, 30 grand of value. To the wrong car, not much. So I wish I had a picture here, but bid this car on the radio. 86, four-wheel drive, short bed, K10, four-wheel drive Chevy 86 regular cab. 100,000 miles of 6.0 Vortex swap. Cool. I hit it at 20 grand. We get it. It's got a salvage title that has been so it's previous salvage. Okay, we're backing way up now. And then we start looking at shit, and it's not quite as nice as we thought, but it's pretty good. But it needs some love. We gave 12 grand for it and sold it for 17. You know, bought it off an individual. What would it have brought if it had a 350 in it? Please comment below right now if you're still listening. I'd love to know how's it carbureted? What's it look like? Blah, blah, blah. If it had the right 350 in it. If that truck brought 17 with a 6.0 LS swap, what would it have brought with the right 350 in it? Same truck I just described. 86 or 7, square, short, nice wheels, tires, not overdone, lifted, good interior, previous salvage history, rebuilt. If it brought 17, what would it have brought with a 350 in it? And then do the same thing on a 72 Blazer. Say one sells for 150 grand with a LS3 or whatever, whichever one you put in it. And I know that makes a difference too, versus a 350. What's the dollar difference in the same build, the same truck, the same desirability in a good LS versus a good 350? I'm trying to figure it out. I don't quite have it down, and that's why I'm bringing this up. Please comment below. Teach me something. Teach everybody something. This isn't just about me running my chops. I don't know shit. I know enough to get in trouble. I'm learning. But I am enjoying this classic and collector stuff. I mean, sticks and automatics, rag tops, hard tops. Why do rag tops bring less than hard tops? Because sports car guys wants hard tops. Cruisers want rag tops. Rag tops, cruisers aren't as big of a deal about horsepower. Hard top guys, race guys are, more about horsepower. Costs a lot to get horsepower. This is a theory. I mean, I'm right, I'm wrong in the same breath. There's different theories. Stick shifts and convertibles make them less valuable than automatics. The theory, because the guy buys it for his girlfriend, and his girlfriend doesn't want to drive a stick. If she drives his convertible, does she want to drive a stick? Does the Porsche turbo guy with a stick want a convertible? Most of them, no. They want a hardtop. But a convertible costs more, but it's worth less. These are theories. We'll see. Thank you for staying this long with me. Comment below. I like seeing what you guys bring up. If you have other things you'd like me to bring up, make a list. I'll write it down. I'll cover it next week. And also, of course, we'll be on the radio in the morning. Go to jcwshow.com, jcwshow.com, and that is where you will see the radio show deal. It's all YouTube Live. It's all over the country on terrestrial FM radio, classic rockers all over the U.S. And it starts at 7 Eastern and goes till 1 Pacific. Saturday's a long day for me. It's a work day, too. All right, I'm getting out of here. See ya.